Hello everybody, welcome back to Sodbuster's Metal Detecting. I appreciate you joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the assembly of the Minelab Equinox 900. So stick with me here because I'm going to show you the proper way to put this together so the wires are in good shape and nothing gets damaged. Let's get started. Okay, for step number one, we're going to pull out the main part of the unit here. This is called the head right here. And so this is going to be the main part of your unit. So what I recommend is that the first thing that you do, you're going to have one screen protector in this box, okay? I recommend that that is the first thing you do. Go ahead and install the screen protector onto the face unit here. That way, during assembly, you don't end up with any scratches or anything on the main screen. Protect that screen first of all, and that'll be step number one. Okay, step number two is we're going to install the arm cuff. This is a very simple process. So right here on the inside of the arm cuff, you're going to find a button that pushes back and forth. So leave that in the position where it is tilted. That is the release position. You're going to take the main unit, okay? You're going to slip that right in, just like that. You hear that? That's a ratcheting unit. So you can adjust this wherever you want to. And then after you have it in the position that you want, simply push that button down and lock it into position. And that's good to go. Okay, step number three. We are going to go ahead and extend the shaft. This has little cam locks here. Simply just open up these cam locks like that. And this has a fully collapsible and extendable. You got to be careful. See that? Okay. That doesn't hurt anything. That's not broken. But if you notice on the shaft, if you can see that, there's a red mark. That is the last point that you want to extend. You only have maybe 2 to 3 inches of shaft left after that red mark. So you don't want to go past that point. So when you get to that point, just lock it down. Okay, now that's secure. Same thing with this end. Okay, that comes apart too. There's a red mark here. A lot of us won't be using, we won't be using the length that I have here. So normally you're gonna go ahead and shorten that up a little bit and find out your sweet spot, and we'll go over that in just a little bit, how to find what works for you and your length here. All right, and that's extending the shaft so we can install the coil. So since this is out of frame, I'm going to go ahead and shorten this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, we're going to be installing the 11-inch coil because the Equinox 900 comes with the 11-inch coil, and it also comes with the 6-inch coil. So today we're going to be installing the 11-inch coil. We're just going to remove the main bolt out of the coil here, okay? At this point, we are going to I'm going to turn the detector so I can see how this is going to go, but the head is facing towards me, okay? Just like I'm going to read it. I want my coil cable to be on the right-hand side, just like this. It's going to be to the right of me. And I am going to put the shaft inside the coil here. Just carefully put it in there. You guys, this is one other thing I want to mention. This unit has already been installed before. So before you put the coil on, make sure that you have these rubber washers installed in the end of the shaft here. There's 2 rubber teardrop washers, and those go in each side of where this connects to the coil. Make sure those are installed. So again, I'm going to make sure the cable is to the right hand side. We're just going to ease that in, find out where the position is at, kind of look in there and see where you're at. At that point, then you're just going to take your bolt from the right hand side. Got to work it in there because there we go, I got it started. Now, don't force anything. There's going to be threads on the left hand side tab. So just push it in to that point and then just start threading it in. There is no reason to tighten up this tab, this bolt here, really super tight. It already has a good grip there. Do not over tighten these, you guys, because this is a great design that they have come up with for these coil tabs. But if you keep reefing on these bolts, you will take a chance of snapping something, okay? It's not something that you can reef up on. So there's no reason to really tighten that down. Just get it to where you feel it go a little bit snug, and you're going to be good to go. That's it for installing the coil. Now I'm going to show you how we wrap the coil, the coil cord. So now that we have the coil attached onto the shaft, the next thing we want to do is find out the length that we are going to be needing our detector to be so we can detect comfortably. I've already set mine. All I did was put my arm inside the arm cuff, stand up, and adjust the length. Now, when you do this, I know I'm out of frame here. When you do this, you'll be able to tell if your coil is too close to your feet. You need to extend the length a little bit. You don't want to be detecting right close to your feet, your boots or anything. If you have any metal in your shoes or metal in your boots, that's going to affect that. I recommend you wear shoes that don't have any metals in them. But you will be able to tell where you need to be. If this is extended too far in length for you, then your coil is going to be way out there. It's going to be heavier for you to swing. The longer the shaft is extended, the heavier the coil will be on that end. So find the happy medium, not too close to your feet, but not too far out either. At that point, now that we have locked in our position with these cam locks, then we can take and start wrapping the coil cord. And the way you want to do that is, I got to find my stuff here, you guys. All right, we're going to take some of these. You're going to end up with some Velcro. And I had somebody that was having confusion one time about the Velcro. There's nothing to be confused about on those. All right, so we're going to do this. All right, first thing we're going to do is the head is up on the machine. I'm going to take the front of the coil and I'm going to bring the front of the coil right back towards the shaft. Okay, just like that. At that point, I'm going to take the cord and I am going to start wrapping. Okay, we're not going to be pulling tight. This is going to be wrapping here just to where you see a little bend in the slack here. You're not pulling on this connection right here. So at that point, I want to take and put a Velcro on. So at this point, I'm just going to wrap this one on there. Sorry if I'm out of frame here. All right, just as simple as that. And then I am going to continue wrapping my cord up the shaft, just like this. All right, until we get to the upper end where we're going to connect the other end of our coil to the head. So when you do this, you guys, there are very fine pins in the connection of this in the back of the head here. So don't force anything. What you want to do is just put it in there. You'll feel it slip into place. There's actually a notch at the top, and that's where that notch belongs, is at the top of this connection. Make sure that's plugged in, and then just snug up the secured nut here. Okay, tighten that up good. Don't have to over tighten it, just good and snug. At that point, we are going to install another Velcro. Well, if I can get them apart here. There we go. And I like to put another Velcro up here just below the connection there where we just connected the head there. That way we're not getting any tension, any pull on that. Just as simple as that, you guys. This is installed, this whole thing. So now the reason the coil, I put it upside down, so now when you bring it back, you see that slack in the coil there, or in the cable. That coil is good to go no matter where that is positioned. It is not putting tension on this connection here. So that is the proper way to install the cable, so it's not putting tension on any connections here or any connection here. And that's how you wrap your cable. Let's move on to the next step. So now that the detector is installed here, all put together, you may notice that you can still twist things out of whack here. So now my coil is out of alignment with the head. There's a way to fix that, you guys. It's not broken, okay? Each one of these cam locks here have a connection. Let me put that back up there. Each one of these connections have a little round tightening knob right here. This is how you adjust the tension on these connections. Again, I don't recommend overdoing anything. Give it a little snug, see where it's at. That feels good to me right there. Okay. You can check, make sure everything's not too tight. It's not turning on me here. Go to the next one. Yep, that one's turning too. I'll show it to you here. See that? I can turn everything this way. So I'm just going to take the little round knob right here. You can open up the tab to do this if you want to, and then just turn that slightly, lock it back down. Could be a little tighter, so I open that up, give it a little spin, lock it back down. That feels pretty good to me right there. So you can adjust these cam locks. That's a very important thing. All right, and you have 2 cam locks to adjust, and that's it. Let's move on to the next step. All right, so in your Minelab Equinox 900 box, you're also going to find your headphone case. Inside the headphone case, you will find, obviously, your headphones. Okay, these are the Minelab ML85, and you've got a little headphone instructional manual, and then inside a little zipper pocket inside the case here, you're going to find some cords. So one of these is a charging cord. Most of us, we prefer the wireless Bluetooth headphones to be wireless. So we do need to charge these, okay? You'll have a charging cord for your Equinox and for your headphones, but you will need a charging block, okay? 2 amp is what you need, and your charging, whoops, I just turned this on, that was quick. Your charging amps are 2 amp, and let's see here, you can use pretty much what you have with your cell phone or something like that, or you can pick up an extra one. They're really cheap, but that is not provided in here. Your charging time for your Equinox is going to be anywhere from 4 to 5 hours, depending on the charging block that you're using. Don't overcharge your detector, you guys. Once you get a solid green light, that means it's fully charged. Unplug it. Otherwise, you're sitting there and cooking the battery the longer it charges after the full point. So charge it to full, unplug it. You'll be good to go until after your following hunt. Come back, charge it up again to full, unplug it. Just don't let it sit on a charge. Now that is a tip I learned from Dan Willis at Outlaw Metal Detectors. He's pretty informed about batteries and battery life. So, and by the way, speaking of Dan Willis at Outlaw Metal Detectors, this is where you can get all of your metal detecting supplies, including the Minelab Equinox 900. That's where mine came from. All right, for the last steps here. The only thing we have left to do now is to charge our headphones and our machine. So to charge the headphones, you are provided with a cable here. I do not know what the connection is called, but you'll see on the bottom of one of the headpieces here, the earpieces, you will find the connection there where you just plug that in. Don't force it, just slip it in there. And then you just plug this into your charging block. Okay? While that's charging, you'll see the lights here that'll be red. When it's done charging, they will turn a solid green. At that point, go ahead and unplug your, your headphones and they'll be fully charged. The next thing we need to do, or you could do this at the same time if you have the two charging blocks, is you're going to take your charging cable for the metal detector. This is a magnetic connection. There's a magnetic connection back here on the back of your Equinox. Simply slip that in there, pops right in. Plug this into your charging block and let it charge until the lights turn solid green and you're done. This machine is now ready to go out into the field. All right, you guys, I appreciate you joining me here on this video. And for more tutorials, you guys, stick with me because I'm going to be providing more tutorials on the Equinox 900 from beginner to advanced. And so stick with me here. Hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit the bell icon. That way you get notifications whenever I upload a new video. Be sure to share if you would like. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you can get out there and fill those treasure boxes. Until the next video, take care, be safe, Happy New Year, talk to you soon.